Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl, Miss Trina with Chat with Trina, and I want to thank you again for making the choice to click in to Chat with Trina. Today I am chatting with a good friend of mine, Mr. Bernard BJ Jackson of BJack Dance Productions. Hello, everybody. This is Miss Trina with Chat with Trina, and today I am here with my longtime friend, Mr. Bernard Jackson of one of his many businesses, BJack Productions, which is his dance organization. Hey, Mr. Bernard, how are you?
Hey, Miss Trina. I am fantastic.
I'm excited that you agreed to join me today.
All you got to do is ask or just let me know that something's happening where you are, and I'll do my best to support always, always.
I appreciate that. I have gotten that answer so much this year. Sometimes you be down about stuff. Child, that right there, when say that, I've heard that so many times. It makes you feel so good that people are excited to support your endeavors and your vision. So thank you so much for always doing that. Do you ever look at my annoying Throwback Thursdays? Do you ever see any of those?
Well, I see things that come through, but unlike a whole lot of people, I don't spend a lot of time on any form of social media. I kind of like
Okay.
jump in and jump
Jump in,
out.
jump out.
Yeah, and it may be one time every 2 weeks and sometimes once a month.
Oh
so
gosh.
but when I do
So
peep in, I do see some of the throwbacks every now and then. And I still wear your t-shirt that I got, that I seen a picture of you and I on a throwback.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So do you know when you got that shirt? Do you remember what the event was?
I remember what the event was, but please don't ask me the year.
No, I don't know. The only person that I know knows a year for everything, and that is Rock Green. That dude that know it. Oh, that happened in 2006. Oh, that happened in 1995. It's like, okay, I can't remember that much. So what was the event, Bernard?
You had invited me to come down to teach a workshop, and it was one of the clubs that you were working with up on the north side of Houston. I can't tell you exactly where because I didn't know Houston at the time. I barely know Houston now, and I've been here for like 6 years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm 51 and I don't know it. I still use my GPS, and I've been here all my life, so
Yeah,
don't feel bad.
yeah. So, but
It
yeah,
was Club Divas, and
club.
BJack Productions came down and had a awesome. It was a very fun workshop, and that's when I gave you your "So You Want to Dance" shirt.
Yes,
Yes,
and I think it was yesterday was the last time I adorned that shirt. If it wasn't dirty, I might have brought it with me. I love that shirt. Thank you.
I'm just glad you still have it.
Oh
When
yeah.
we get some of these reunions going, I'm gonna see how many people have theirs. I know Ron Wilson still has his. I see it. Sometimes I look on stuff and I see people. I say, "Oh my God, they still got their shirt." But
The
I'm
name
actually
of
having
your
some
business,
made. Some, huh?
I was just saying, the name of your business is great advertising for every
For
dance
everything.
business. So people will see it and say,
Absolutely.
yes, I want to dance. Who I dance with?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I tell you, when we did that cruise, so many people asked about the shirt because the shirts were all "So You Want to Dance." So they were like, "What is that?" Well, I probably could have sold a lot of shirts. I didn't think about that back then.
Oh well, I
Back then, my
that's
mind was
cool.
totally on. Oh yeah, my mind back then though was not on making me no money. It was on just, oh, I'm just having fun doing stuff. Now, since retirement is coming up, I'm thinking about money. So let me make this play. Then I learned also that free stuff that still don't get you nowhere. But make this plug right quick. It's a shameless plug, but t-shirts will be coming out. There'll be "So You Want to Dance" t-shirts, and they will be "So You Want to Dance" face masks. So let's get to talking about Mr. Bernard. Okay, so you
I
are
like
from
talking about
Austin.
Trina more.
Nah, not today. I'm always talk about me. We did.
Okay.
Um, you moved here from Austin. Now, were you born in Austin?
No, I was
Okay,
born in Atlanta, Texas, a little small town up in Northeast Texas. Very small. It's a
yeah.
population about 6,000 people, and I moved to Austin to go to the University of Texas, where I moved into a dorm that actually housed about half the population of my hometown. So
Really?
3,500 people lived in that dorm, and I come from a city with a population of 6,000. So it
That
was a
was
life change.
interesting.
It was a life change. Yeah.
So how was that going from a little bitty town to this huge environment?
My world has always been small, and it remains small even when I went to the University of Texas. Especially at the time, there were like 50,000 students at UT, but there was only about 400 Black people. So yeah, so whenever you saw a Black person, you could go all day without seeing a Black person, and whenever you saw one, it was like, hey! It was like, so you get to know every person on campus, of every person of color that you can meet, because you spent all your day waiting to see another one. It's interesting.
So what did you major in?
I started off in computer science, but I eventually got my degree in economics.
Really? Entrepreneurship, that matches up with your and all that you do. Okay. So when did you start dancing? Do you know that year?
Yes, I do. It was 2002, because my brother, he had been dancing in Dallas. And every time we got together, he absolutely loved it. So every time we got together for any family functions, it didn't matter, our camping trips, our Christmas parties, Thanksgiving parties, birthday parties, he'd pull us over to the corner. Here, let me show you this step. Here, let me show you this step. And so in 2002, I started learning to dance. And that's even when I started teaching. One of the things I told people, I danced from 2002 until 2007 all by myself. I knew the basics. I learned the basics, and there was nobody in Austin. I lived in Austin still. Nobody in Austin knew this dance, and I didn't meet anybody.
Not about that.
Until 2007. So from 2002 to 2007, I did the basics all by myself. So when people ask, how do you get to dance like that? I said, I don't think you're willing to do that. Everybody want to learn how to dance, and they want it now. So, I start dancing today, and I start teaching in 3 months.
There you go.
I started dancing in 2002, and I didn't touch another person's hand until 2007.
Crazy. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they used to, when I started dancing, that might have been 2006, I think they tell me. When I started dancing, we used to start off by ourselves technically as well. Like we didn't, the Houston Bio had us dancing alone too, Tim. But it didn't last as long as what you did. But I used to like that you learned your basic by yourself. Because just like in a relationship, it takes two whole people who know what's going on to come and make a successful couple. I think that about the dance too. I need to back up a little bit. So when you went to UT, that's how you migrated. That's how you ended up in Austin, and you decided to make your life there.
Yes, I went to UT, and I love UT. I love Austin.
You bleed orange?
No. No.
They say that all the time. So
I love UT. I don't know if UT loved me as much as I love UT, but it was a rocky relationship, and we just stayed together for a long time. But I really love the city of Austin. It's like now living in the Houston area, people ask me, so do you like Houston? No, not really. I love Austin because Austin has natural beauty, and hopefully the fans of Houston don't send me texts, don't talk bad about me. But I thought Houston is a good place if you like lights and concrete. Austin was a great place if you love nature. And coming from a small town, I was really, really enjoying all the beautiful nature spots in Austin.
Wow. You said that my daughter's been living there for a long time. She's actually about to move back to Houston, but she lived in Cedar Park, Round Rock. But before she moved there, when I was really, really into So You Want to Dance, and I was busy, I had a male friend, and to get me away from the hustle and bustle, he would take me to Austin for the weekend. And I loved it. It was like getting away from the city, and it was just, it really was relaxing. 1, 2, going down to visit my daughter. For my birthday last year, I stayed a week. And I was like, I posted on Facebook, I want to move here. I think I want to move to Austin. And I got so many responses saying you don't want to move to Austin. You don't want to move to Austin. It's this and that. I'm like, I live in Houston. Yeah, I like Austin. So actually, I really like Austin. I've thought about it many times to move there. So I get it.
Well, Austin is quite a bit slower than Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, she even informs me that, you know, Austin is a nice place to go to sleep. Uh, she's from Chicago, so she likes being
Oh,
able to move out, move around, move about. And for her, Houston was a little slow. But for
really?
me, yeah, for you know, compared to Chicago,
Chicago.
yeah. But for me, it was like I don't need a whole lot of fast anything. I mean, I'm over 50. It's time to slow down. I'm not looking to speed up to do anything. I don't want horns honked at me as I go down the street. I don't want
Yeah.
people rushing me anywhere. I just want to go out to the park, chill, have a nice picnic, go up to the
Mm-hmm.
oasis, enjoy the sunset, go down to the lake,
Yes.
go boating on the lake. You know, all the
Mm-hmm.
natural stuff.
Yeah.
The the concerts in the park and live music. That
Live music capital.
yeah, that was just the wonders of Austin for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's what I like, what I think I would like about it, especially being, on my, by myself now. I think that would be great. But anyway, I do love Austin, so I can definitely see why you would want to do that. So what's interesting to me that I never thought about until you said it today was that there was really nobody else dancing in Austin yet. Swingout hadn't taken off. I had not until that moment. You said that a few minutes ago. So Bart and Kathy, would
yeah,
that be the answer? How that started taking off, or
that is the answer. And I
okay,
give Bart and Kathy all the credit for everything that they did, and they're off the scene right now, but you know
right?
they're still the mother and father of a group of people there who they brought together. And I mean, Bart is my frat brother. Kathy is my soror. So
Okay.
I mean, to me, we were destined to meet, and we
Mm-hmm.
were going to be friends. It was just a matter of when and how we came together.
Yeah.
So as I said, my brother taught me how to dance, and I was still dancing by myself. And I wound up at this club called the Studio, and I
Mm-hmm.
ran into someone there who told me if you come out on Thursday nights, then you know that I asked her, where did you learn that dance? Because I hadn't seen
Mm-hmm.
anybody in Austin doing it, and I've been looking. I've been
Looking.
trying to get people to learn how to do this dance because I was wanting to do it for like 4 years at least, and it's like there was no one. So when I saw them doing that dance, they told me come out on Thursday night. There's someone out here who will be teaching. So that Thursday, it was in July, the last week of July in 2007. I came out to the Studio, and that's where I met Bart and Kathy, and we've been friends ever since.
They were always really nice people. They did something huge. I thought how many? What was it called? G, not G. Was it G? What was
Yeah,
the name of the classes?
graduations, it just became graduation, whatever, and
But like G14, G8, like that.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I started with
So
G3, and then I participated, I believe, all the way up to G18. So
that's crazy. So what do you think? I ask people this all the time. What do you think about graduations? Like, I know it's a lot of work, but did you enjoy them?
it is a lot of work. Yes, I did enjoy them. It's because of the graduations that we had in Austin that the group became what it was. And it was more of a family than it was a dance group. And at one point, it was like the only show in town. And even though I learned to dance from someone else, I
Mm-hmm.
was friends with Bart and Kathy, and there was nothing I wouldn't do for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I even when I started doing my own thing, I made sure that I didn't do anything to detract or pull away from Step in Motion because I was a part of that
Have
family.
emotions.
You don't do things to hurt your family.
Right.
So I did my very best to always remain faithful and true to Step in
Mm-hmm.
Motion.
Loyal too, as well.
Yeah, and to loyal and protective. So, you know,
Yeah.
every now and then words would come through, and well, you know me, words would come through, and someone had something bad they wanted to say about Bart and Kathy or what they did in Austin, but you can't say it to me.
Right.
So it's like, for me, if you have a friend doesn't come to you and say, "Ooh, let me tell you what so-and-so said about you." You come and say, "Look, so-and-so said this, and this is what I said."
There you go. Bingo.
I'm not the person. I'm not the one. You could not and still cannot say bad things to me about Bart and Kathy or Step in Motion, because you have no idea. If you're outside of it, you have no idea.
What's really going on? I want to give you kudos because you always told me, are you at the event? I think for the dance part, you would always talk about Kathy and Bart. You always recognized them. You always made sure that people knew that. I don't want to use the word that they had you had their blessings, but you always paid homage to them for giving you that. And there you knew that they were supporting that event. And I love that. I think that's so important. It's something that we don't always do. And you always did that. And I want to say thank you for that, because it shows, it's an example. I think you set the standard and you set the example of that. So I just want to say that to you out loud in public. I heard good things. I used to love to come there. Matter of fact, I tell the story all the time, me and Danielle, how we met was with Austin, because someone, I never had anybody to go with. People always assume because I did all this stuff that I was coming anyway, and I had people to do stuff with, which made me never have anybody to go with. So I was telling a friend of mine one day, I was like, I want to go to the Austin. I don't have nobody to go with. I don't want to ride by myself. Rod don't want to go. And they said, what about Danielle? I was my friend Danielle. And I was like, girl, I said, boy, you know I don't do women. I don't do no women. He said, well, she don't either. So y'all will be fine. So we end up, that was our thing. We would come to Austin to the events there. And I'll tell you, my favorite event outside of the the graduation was the BJack Productions event. And I talk about it all the time. And when I go to the studio in Houston, first thing I think about, because the place is set up almost like that facility that you gave it at. You know what I mean? I promise you, from the day before you even came to Houston, when they first opened it up, I went in there and I thought, oh my God, this is where he could do this at. This is what I thought. And I think I brought it up to you before about hosting that event. I think I had. Tell us about the event.
Well, Bart and Kathy, they had Step in Motion. And it was, to me, it was an example of what every dance group can be. Everyone might not aspire to be that, but if they don't, then it's because they don't know what it was. Right. So I also wanted to have a contribution that I gave to the Austin dance community, because Austin was only Step in Motion. And it was set apart from all the other groups because all the other groups was in different cities. My dance education came at great expense. So there was a time when I would work like 50 or 60 hours a week. I'd get off work, I'd drive up to Dallas, I'd come back, I'd take a nap, maybe change clothes, take a shower, and go straight to work. Get off, drive up to Killeen, do the same thing. Get off, drive down to Houston, to the point where people thought I lived in Dallas. The people who lived in Dallas thought I lived in Dallas. People who lived in Killeen, some of them thought I lived in Killeen. There's a few people in Houston who thought I lived here. And I was learning.
Yeah, you used to pop up. Just pop. There you go. Hey, but what you doing here? So.
Learning. I was learning and loving every minute of it. So I wanted to be able to share some of the things that I learned with the other people in Austin who didn't have the freedom to travel. And the people who to me they weren't exactly the originators of the dance, but they were the backbone of the dance in Dallas at that time. I was like, what we have here is great, but if you only got a chance to hear Lady Champagne, if you only got a chance to go to one of Jerry Palmer's classes, if you only got a chance to have fun with Big Smooth, if you only got a chance to have these experiences with all these other great dancers, great instructors, because I was willing to put the miles on the road. I had the time, and I had the freedom to do so. So my contribution to the dance was, I'm going to find a way. If you can't get Muhammad to the mountain, you bring the mountain to Muhammad. Well, I found a way to try and get as many of these people as possible to come into Austin. And that's where the idea came from for me, was I wanted to have this contribution that I gave to the dance community in Austin. So it was never about making money. There was a time when it made money. There was a time when it cost me money. I'll say the largest income that was made off of any of those functions was about $3,000. That was okay, but ain't nobody gonna live off of that. And I did one function a year, period. That was me. So you're not gonna live off of that. And then I set that money aside to have the function for the next year.
Exactly.
It wasn't that I had money in my pocket and now I can live it up. No, this means that I can do a greater thing the next year. I try to make every year, I gave it a theme, and I try to make every year better than the last year. And there was even a time where one of my favorite functions actually cost me about $800, which means I came out about $800 in the hole. But I was about as happy as you could possibly be, because for that function, every time I had workshops, I tried to have something for singles, something for married people, something for individuals, something for couples, something for beginners, something for where everybody always had something to do. So I remember that Friday night, there was 3 different classes that any individual could take, which means there were 6 instructors. That Saturday, I think I did 4 different classes, which means there were 8 instructors. That Sunday, I did another class, but it was only 1 class, so you either made it to that or not. It was about line dancing. And then there was the Friday night meet and greet, the Saturday night dances, and then
Saturday night dance was fun. It used to be fun.
Anybody who wanted to stick around, they got some of the Sunday morning dance too, because that's also when Michelle, my dance partner at the time, co-instructor, when we would have our classes, and we'd also host a dance, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening. So I wanted to always give more than you could possibly pay for. The same idea I have whenever I try to do a workshop. I say, bring a friend, bring a recorder. If you don't bring the recorder, please bring a friend. You write down one thing you learned, they write down the next, because you shouldn't be able to hold everything that I try to give. So I always wanted everything I did to be value add to your life. And
I appreciate it.
I even
I'm sorry.
Let me know, and you can get a refund.
That's huge.
Yeah. If I didn't teach you something that you didn't know, I'll give you your money back. If you didn't learn something at those workshops that you didn't know, I'll give you your money back, because I was never in it for the money. And I told other people, don't ever let money be a reason that you don't come to one of my events. It's not about the money to me. I needed money to pay the instructors. I needed money to pay for the venues. I needed money to be able to feed people. I fed people morning, afternoon, and evening. But money was not the reason I had any of my events. It was to bring the dance community together.
When you're giving an event and you're thinking about the cost, for me, I do think about that. I actually think, after I think about the venue, I think about the date and all that stuff, theme, all that. Then I think about, how can I do this and make sure people don't have to pay $165,000 to come? Do you think anything's wrong with that? Do you think about that versus thinking, well, we don't have time to be worried about what they got in their pocketbook? My thought is what I said. This is what I said. I want to be able to give an event where people can come and don't have to worry about making a loan from Friendly Loans. They don't have to go to 1-800, borrow me some money. I want them to be able to come and enjoy themselves and not have to stress, because we don't know about everybody's income. You know what I mean? But we know everybody doesn't have it. Just like you mentioned, you were able to go to Dallas, you were able to go to Harker Heights, you were able to do these things, and you want to bring that to those people that may not have had the time, they may not have had the income in it, but you want to bring that back. So my point is, do you ever think about that?
Yeah, it was something that I kind of picked up from Bart and Kathy as well. What I do and what I know came at great expense to me. If I couldn't afford it, I would not have done it.
Right.
However, there were others who were a little less fortunate. Some, and it's not like I've always been blessed. There's been times when people have blessed me when I couldn't afford, and people would say it doesn't matter. So what I would do is, the real estate, to me, I think I used to tell you when you held your function, the real estate in Austin is very expensive. People
You have told me that before.
People wanted to charge you outrageous numbers for anything. It's like, okay, I want to rent this venue for about 4 hours on a Saturday night. That'll be $3,500. I beg your pardon? I haven't sold a ticket yet. Yes, I know. So you'll get to sell tickets if you give me $3,500. Okay, so can I give you half now? No. If you don't give me $3,500, then we're going to rent out to the first person who comes and gives us $3,500.
And I might call you and let you know somebody else is looking at it.
Yeah, so I would go to my bank account and I would pull out $3,500. And then I start writing tickets to hand to people asking, can you help to sell? But up front, it's going to cost me $3,500. Let me see how many people I think I might be able to fit up into this space. Okay. These 250, if I can get 250, if I can get 300, it's going to be okay. But I'm just looking, my loyalty base was about 250. So that means I have to split the cost for this venue and the food, because at some point it became required almost for you to feed people for them to come to dance.
You gotta feed me.
Okay. Yeti ain't gonna cut it. So we have the venue, we have the food, and then I just told you I had 15 instructors. 15 instructors for one event. I put all of those instructors up in hotels when they came. And I offered them a stipend. And there were a few, like Sandy Brown, who came down from Oklahoma, and my frat brother, Ali, who came down here in Houston when he did the Detroit Ballroom for me. I even tried to sneak money on him, and he hid it back in a place and told me where he put it after he had already left. And
that's funny.
And Sandy was like, look, if you want to insult me again, offer me money. I don't know if our friendship is strong enough to withstand you offering me money to do this thing that I love. Bernard, I love you. She gave me a hug, and it's like, yeah, that's when the grown man go off to the corner and cry and wipe away before anybody see it. It's like, there's somebody else who sees this thing and wants out of it the same thing I do, who's not afraid that I'm going to get rich without them. He's going to get rich before me. Look, if he makes some money, if he breaks even, I wanted it to be quality events that when people came, they would remember it. I want people to remember what I did in 2009 and 2029. I mean, I was trying to make some memories and contribute to the dance community. So there were some instructors who wouldn't take pay, and there were some instructors who tried to take advantage.
Hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying my chat with Bernard Jackson of BJack Productions so far. We had to have a part 2, guys. He has so many of those wonderful nuggets that he likes to drop. So go ahead, go to the next Bernard Jackson part 2. See you there.